welcome to all sins and commandments alike. This is Griever, your guys' host as always, bringing you guys the latest episode review of Wrath of the Gods. Alright guys, so I pose the question to you. How many of you are anime-only viewers? And how many of you are at least caught up to this arc of the manga? Because depending on that response, you may have a different opinion about this episode. Now, personally, once again, you guys know, you can see my channel. I am up to date. I review 7 Deadly Sins. I've been reviewing it since before chapter 200. It's been a very long journey for me. And I just actually, tonight, was watching a few of my favorite episodes from Season 1. And perhaps that's left a bitter taste in my mouth a little bit, just a little bit of a bitter one, because the animation was, well, compared to this, might as well be put in the Louvre in France, in levels of animation. In comparison to this series, or this season, and in comparison to this episode. This episode was not terrible, was not good necessarily. It was there. It was mediocre. There wasn't anything that super blatantly shot out to me. I was like, okay, this is such shit. I mean, they could have done better for a lot of major scenes, but overall, I mean, mediocre at best, right? The thing is, they have added filler for like the amount of filler, I think, the first time this season. And I'm having a hard time figuring out whether to discuss this here. Because the filler aspects, the filler explanation here of certain events, they warrant discussion, but they do not warrant discussion on people who aren't caught up with the manga. So, rock, hard place, playing a little bit of the scales here. But I think personally, I'm just going to let it all slide. I think that if you want to talk about this, if you want to talk about the filler, if you want to talk about what happened as a manga reader, the link to my Discord is always in the description down below. Feel free to join that at me, at Griever, and I will be sure to respond to you. And I will respond, fair warning, in the comment section of this YouTube video. And I will be talking spoilers and all that stuff, because the comment section will talk spoilers. So I can't help that. That's just going to be a thing, right? So, but feel free to do that if you want to talk about this, because I have to basically glaze over that in case my viewers are anime only. So, as anime only viewer, what do you guys think? What do you think of this explanation that there is a curse on Meliodas and Elizabeth? That there is a, rebound, there's the Demon King, the father of Meliodas, and the supreme deity, the mother of Elizabeth, who was, as we found out earlier in the season, is a goddess. And they fought against these two gods and lost. In fact, they were killed. Except Meliodas came back to life, and Elizabeth did not. But she was reincarnated, and reincarnated again, and again, and again. But Meliodas never ages, never changes. Even if something were to kill him, he would just come back to life. Again, and again, and again. At first, on the surface, when I first read this, I thought, okay, this isn't nearly as bad as I thought. Like, there could be worse punishments. But for two star-crossed lovers, this is the ultimate torture. when you think about it. If you, and I'm not going to get into this here, but when you truly sit down and think about it, it's kind of like if you guys have ever seen the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, the video game. It was on the GameCube and stuff, or if you watch the movie with Jake Gyllenhaal and stuff, the same feeling still applies. Even though they're meant to have happy endings, in retrospect, you're sitting there like, here is you yourself having memories, having, and in Meliodas' case, having not, a year's worth of memories, not 10 years worth of memories, not 100 years of memories, but 3,000 years of memories that just don't count. And then you have to live this short lifespan for maybe 10 days, maybe 10 years, and then it's gone again. And then you have to relive it in a different way, but still relive it. It's something that was brought up in the Forgotten Realms books by R.A. Salvatore, the Driz books, if you guys aren't familiar with that. There was a simple explanation by an elf figure that basically said, who of course live very long lives. In most medieval things, they live very long lives, right? You have these very long lives. And if you choose, as a certain elf pointed out to the main character in these series of books, well into the series, so I don't want to bring up too much spoilers, basically said, you surrounded yourself with humans, with lesser lived species, with people that only have about a century on this earth at best. And you are taking this way too hard. You need to be able to section off your life as someone who is going to live for hundreds, maybe thousands of years. You need to be able to section off your life. You cannot mope for 900 years over the death of someone who only lived 75. You are a higher lived being. It doesn't mean you're better than them. It just means that your lifespans, you need to act accordingly based on this. That you need to section off your life in and live in the moment. That is what it means to be of a longer lived species. That is what it means to be an elf. That was the conclusion of a trilogy of books, a trilogy that spans, they sectioned it off a little bit, but that was the marking of that. So that is something that really has stuck with me for a very long time, and right here it applies. Except the difference is, imagine, I don't think that advice would be the same if you had a character in this situation. Because we're not talking about Meliodas, Elizabeth dies and he wanders the earth and he cannot die and he lives for hundreds of years and he basically has to get over Elizabeth. No. It's shoved in his face. Here's Elizabeth 2.0. Here's Elizabeth 3.0. Here's Elizabeth 4.0. It's not a new person. It's not a new woman in your life. Regardless of what you people think about what my fans and subscribers and everyone watching this video thinks about remarrying and stuff, I got opinions on that. But like remarrying, meeting multiple people, marrying multiple times, that kind of stuff, finding comfort in people after, 50 years of marriage, they die, all that stuff. This is not the same. And it's not the same as my elf comparison, so I probably wasted about 2 minutes talking about that. It's the same person. You have to now basically live your life again with the same person, knowing that that's my wife, but she doesn't know who I am. And if you try to tell her, she dies. And then you can play the devil's advocate and go, well, just don't tell her. Now you have to live an entire life that feels like a lie just to spend one more day with your wife. And in the end, she's going to die. You're not going to age. And by the looks of it, from the looking of all this, from the manga and, spoiler alert a little bit here, but in the manga and both here in the anime filler, nobody seems to be having any children together. so you can't even live on through them. The eternal grandfather, so to speak. Nope. Just a constant reminder that your wife died, she doesn't remember you, and you basically have, and she is cursed to meet you and fall in love, because then you're thinking, okay, I got a way out. I'll leave. I'm here in Canada, I'll go to Asia, and I'll never meet the reincarnation, I'll never meet her again. Doesn't matter. They are fated through the curse to meet, not only just meet, but she is destined to fall in love with you for every single reincarnation. I mean, this is a super heavy episode. This was so heavy. This sparked so much controversy. This sparked so many discussions. This is back when Taizai was like right up here in the top tier. And this was a big part of it, because this reveal was huge for us in the community. And here in the episode, I think they do it justice. They spend a fair amount of time focused on that. They don't try to rush it. They don't try to just go, okay, we said the one word and we're moving on. Like, if you didn't catch it, too bad. They spend time explaining it, drawing it out, and fully showing the weight of what happened. And adding those filler scenes was, I believe, necessary, though I don't agree. And I'm not going to point out what the filler scenes are in case you're anime only. But adding the filler scenes was necessary to add the weight and the pacing to explain how bad this is. Though I have an issue with Meliodas and his reaction at the end of this flashback thing in Danafor as a result of the filler scenes. But this is not the place to talk about it. Potentially, I'll talk about it in probably not an episode review. But once again, Discord, follow me there. After this whole flashback sequence, and we find out the history of Elizabeth and Meliodas completely, we jump over to the fact that everyone is, of course, broken by this. They are absolutely broken. And everyone doesn't know what to do. Meliodas is just kind of like, you know what? Let's just do what we came here to do. We're going to go to this place. We're going to free them from the demon distortion. We're going to 7 deadly sins, move out. End of the episode, Zeldris is waiting for them there, and Meliodas leaps up, sword ready, and jumps, ready to strike. So that's where the episode ends off. We probably have 2 more episodes until the hype of the potentially best episode of the season, if they do it right. I'm going to guess 3 episodes. I'm going to guess 2, and then the third one will be the hype. I could be wrong. It could be less, could be more, but I'm hoping they do this justice. So, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been I know this was quite a bit different. Instead of just going throughout the scene, I talked about the meaning behind it and comparisons and stuff. And some of you might not have stuck around, especially through my whole Forgotten Realms analogy and stuff, and trying to explain where I'm coming from with this. But if you did stick around, thank you very much. Let me know if you stuck around, Put a little, what's a good emoji and stuff? I don't use them myself. Put a skull emoji. Let's do that. Put a skull emoji at the beginning of any of your comments in the comment section down below if you made it this far. Please, you guys love me, right? You stayed to the end of the video, so please put a skull emoji at the beginning or the end, in fact. At the beginning or the end in your comment if you stayed all the way through the video to listen to that little bit. And then tell me what you thought. Tell me what you think and stuff. Once again, the comment section is, of course, spoilers galore and stuff, but I try to just keep these videos in case someone just wants to watch the anime only and keep up with the anime. I try to keep them spoiler free, so we're not going to discuss certain things here, but I will discuss them in the Discord, link in the box below, and I will discuss them in the comment section down below, of course. Like, comment, and subscribe as always, guys. This has been Griever. Don't forget to hit the bell notification if you guys want to know every single time I drop a video. Don't forget to drink responsibly as always. We will see you back here next time for episode 11 of Wrath of the Gods, 7 Deadly Sins. See you next time, guys.